What's going on, YouTube? This is Christian Brindle, and the reason why I'm wearing this hood today is because I am under the weather. I'm a little sick today, not because I'm losing my hair, because I know there's some of you that may think that. If you don't know who I am, I'm a licensed insurance agent. I specialize in Medicare health plans, and I work with people in various different states. I'm a published author on insurance-based books. I host the ever-popular The Everything Medicare Podcast, and today I wanted to talk with you about why I believe that every single person, at least 99.9% of people, should purchase cancer insurance and why it should be at the top of your list as far as some of the most important insurance that you can possibly purchase in your life. Now, I wanted to talk about why I believe that this is the case, and no matter what type of insurance health coverage you have at that, I think that cancer insurance can be vitally important. But first, let's just talk about the needs that are there with cancer insurance. Cancer is probably more likely today than it has ever been that someone might experience it in their lifetime. New statistics show, and some show even higher than this, but I'd like to underestimate rather than overestimate. Probably the best case scenario, typically 1 out of 4 people in their lifetime will get some form of cancer. That means that 25% of the population will get some form of cancer in their lifetime, which means that you have a 1 out of 4 chance in getting some type of cancer in your lifetime. I don't mean to put you in that negative thought process, but it's a realistic thing that we need to address, and that's something that you need to think about, unfortunately, anytime you're looking at insuring yourself for anything, whether it be health insurance, life insurance, car insurance. What risks are there that need to be covered? Cancer is a huge risk, and a lot of people always ask me, well, what? I have great health insurance. I don't need it. I have a Medicare supplement that pays everything. I still don't need it. You still need it no matter what type of policy you have, in my personal opinion, and I will tell you exactly why, and we'll go through these step-by-step, policy type by policy type. So let's start off talking about Medicare supplement plans. Medicare supplement plans have full coverage, right? No copays, no deductibles, no out-of-pocket. And if there are deductibles and out-of-pocket, it's very, very minimal. Why does that person need a cancer policy, Christian? Well, it's very, very simple. When someone has cancer, there are 2 types of prescriptions they're going to be taking, and those would be your Medicare Part B prescriptions and your Medicare Part D prescriptions. B as in boy, D as in dog. These matter tremendously as far as how you're going to be covered. When a person has a Medicare supplement policy, it's very common that they have a Medicare Part D prescription drug plan that goes along with it to cover their medications. Now, when you have cancer, in a lot of instances, now there's different types of cancer, different treatment, et cetera, but it's very common that under the Part B as in boy drugs, which are high expensive injectables, a lot of times chemo would fall under this category, radiation would fall into this category. Those would be considered medical expenses. They're billed under Medicare Part B, and then they're also covered by your Medicare supplement. Because what do we know about Medicare supplement policies? In order for them to pay for a claim, Medicare has to pay first. They're a copycat insurance. If Medicare pays, they will pay afterward. If Medicare does not cover for something, neither will the person's Medicare supplement. So on the Part B as in boy drugs, there's no problem there. They're going to be covered exceptionally well by their Medicare supplement. They don't need the cancer policy for that type of medication specifically. Let's go on to the Part D as in dog drugs, though, where the risk really lies. Anybody that's been on Medicare for an extended amount of time that takes any number of expensive medications knows that Medicare Part D drug coverage is not great. Let's just say it. With things like the donut hole, the coverage gap, or also known as the coverage gap, I should say, existing. There are situations where people end up taking $10,000 a month cancer drugs, and the insurance pays 80% and leaves 20% behind. You still pay $1,000 to $2,000 out of pocket, even after your Part D plan is paid for something. So it's the prescription side of things, the Medicare Part D prescription drug side of things that can really get you. And there's a lot of prescriptions nowadays that you have to take that fall under the category of Medicare Part D, and they won't fall into the category of Medicare Part B. These costs can absolutely bury somebody. You know, if you're paying $2,000 a month for a cancer medication, even after the insurance is paid, you're looking at $24,000 a year just for that one medication. And when we break it down like that, a cancer policy, to get it for $1 a day in most cases, is totally worth it every single time, in my personal opinion. Medicare Advantage, pretty simple here. Medicare Advantage for chemotherapy and radiation, which would be the Medicare Part B as in boy drugs, like I mentioned. They pay 80% in most cases and leave 20% behind up to a person's max out-of-pocket. Now, the maximum out-of-pocket on a Medicare Advantage plan is going to vary based on where you live. It could be $3,000. It could be $5,000. It could be $6,700. It just depends. But a person that is on a Medicare Advantage plan it has the possibility of getting the charges from both sides. They still deal with the Medicare Part D risks because the Medicare Part D plans are built into the Advantage plans and they have the same design to them that the Medicare Part D prescription drug plans do, in having programs like the coverage gap and the donut hole involved that can cause you to pay a tremendous amount out of pocket. But they're also paying 20% of the Medicare Part B drugs up to their max out of pocket. And so I would argue that Medicare Advantage people need cancer policies more than Medicare supplement people do, but that doesn't mean that both sides don't still need it. If you have a group plan and you have a high deductible, if you have an Obamacare plan and you have a high deductible, obviously the cancer policies make sense for you. You don't need an up to $50,000 cancer policy, folks. I usually recommend $10,000 to $20,000. It's going to keep your premium low. It's going to give you the coverage you need in combination with your regular health insurance. But any type of health insurance policy you have, you can benefit tremendously from a cancer policy. Thanks so much for watching this, folks. I hope this cleared the air on this. I get asked about this all the time. Why do we need a cancer policy if I have this type of insurance or this type of insurance? The short answer is you're left exposed more than you think with most, I'd say 99% of health insurance plans, whether it's on the Medicare supplement side, Medicare Advantage side, Obamacare side, group plan side. It's just a good idea to have a cancer policy, in my personal opinion. If you found this video helpful, drop a like on it, drop a comment on what you'd like to see in future videos, and subscribe for future insurance content and Medicare content. Take care.